Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Today we will be talking about the Prophet ﷺ's diet and how he used to eat. So the Prophet ﷺ, every time when he used to wake up, he used to pray Fajr, he prayed Tahajjud, and then he went to sleep again, and then he woke up for Fajr, he prayed Fajr. Then after that, he stayed in the masjid until sunrise. He prayed the sunrise prayer, which is al-ishraq or duha prayer, and he prayed 2 rak'at. He prayed 2 rak'at, and then he came home. So, what did he do, and what did he eat or whatever? So after the sunrise prayer, he used to go on with his day. He never exactly used to eat after the duha prayer or when he came home. That's not true at all, because some people say that the Prophet ﷺ used to eat 2 times a day, and he used to eat in the sunrise and in the evening, which is the sunset. But that's not true at all. Matter of fact, that was just what people assumed. If you search that up on Google, how many times the Prophet ﷺ used to eat, that will say that. But in reality, the Prophet ﷺ never, barely ate. And whatever he ate was so little, to the point where if you fed this to a camel or someone, I guess they won't be even full. So before we get into this, make sure you like, subscribe, and turn on your notification bells. And let's get into the video and what I'm trying to talk about. Okay, if you have done it, now we can continue. So what I'm trying to talk about here is, what did the Prophet ﷺ used to eat, and when did he used to eat, and what is his diet? So the Prophet ﷺ's diet in general, he used to eat when he was absolutely hungry, like starving. When he was absolutely hungry and when he had no energy at all, that's when he used to eat. The lesson here is that do not eat for pleasure or for hunger. Only eat for fuel. Why else did you think that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He gave us fruits, He gave us vegetables, He gave us cows, He gave us goats, sheep, camels, for us to eat, but not for hunger. It was for energy. Why else do you think you have energy throughout the day? It's all because of food. It comes from food, not from getting good sleep or whatever. That's where your energy comes from. It just depends on what type of foods you eat. So the Prophet ﷺ used to eat until he was absolutely starving. How many times did he used to eat? That depend on how hungry he was or how much energy he needed. And I think there was once a story that the Prophet ﷺ, he had 2 warriors, right? He was training them. So the first thing that he trained in them was the discipline of eating, because he trained them to eat when they were absolutely starving. So he used to teach them how to eat when they were absolutely starving. So whenever they were absolutely starving, they used to eat, because in the war they have very little food. They have very little food. They take with them dates and water. And on the way in the desert, there might be some camels just there. You can drink the camel urine. If there's no water or anything, you can drink that. But that's not the point. The point is that you're supposed to eat when you're absolutely hungry, or you eat for energy. And if you have to, there's a specific hadith saying that if you have to, eat 1/3 of food, then drink 1/3 of water, and breathe 1/3 of air. And this was the diet of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. But let's go into the next thing, which was, what did he used to eat? So the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, what did he eat? There is 4 specific things that I will be getting into today. And the first one is dates. Why did he eat dates? He ate dates for energy. Not only that, but this was the only thing that Medina and Mecca had. Mostly Medina. Mecca didn't really have anything. But Medina, they had, when he went to Medina, he had to eat only dates. And there is even a hadith saying that whichever house does not have dates, they will be starving. And that was back in the day when they did not have any dates, they would be starving. And that's true, because back then it was survival. And in order to survive, you need dates in your home, because that was the only thing they had. And you can go to Medina and they serve dates everywhere, because the dates mostly come from Medina. And the specific dates was the Ajwa dates. A lot of people said that they came from Jannah. A lot of people said that, it was a specific type of date that had some type of miracle. They said a lot of stuff, but in reality, this is just some type of date that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala put in this world for us to eat. And there's a hadith mentioning that if you eat 7 in the morning, you will not be harmed by poison on that day. That's how good Ajwa dates are. 7. Just eat 7. And they might not taste that good. But 7, come on, they're small little dates. These are like the smallest dates. Wallahi, I ate these and they actually taste pretty good. Not bad. I used to eat these back in Bahrain. And so that was the first thing. So what was the second thing I used to eat? He used to eat olives, or also known as olive oil. He used to eat olive/olive oils, or olive oil. So we're gonna first go with the olives. So the Prophet ﷺ always used to eat olives. You can find these in Medina, and researchers have seen that this is very healthy, even with olive oils. I don't really know much about these, but inshallah I will be studying them about what does the olives. I think I once saw it, but I kind of forgot. But the olive oil, he used to actually drink it sometimes. It benefits your health. It's sunnah, so why not do it? And that was the second thing. So the third thing he used to eat was black seeds. So black seeds, they call them in Bangladesh kali jira or something like that. I don't know if it's in Bangladesh, but to be honest, that's what they call it. But the black seeds, if you eat them with like water or something, it will benefit your health. Just eat it and see what happens. You can even search it up yourself. What does black seeds do to the body? And you can search that up yourself. And last but not least, bread in vinegar. And what type of bread? Does it matter? Yes, there's a specific type of bread. I mean, you don't have to dip it in vinegar, but like you can just get some type of bread. The bread was called barley bread, which was a specific type of hard bread. And I'm pretty sure nowadays they have it in certain countries. They have it in Germany. They have it. I don't know if it's in Germany. I don't know what I'm saying, but they have it in specific countries. Barley bread, they have it. It's very hard bread if you don't cook it. If you want it to be soft, then you're gonna have to cook it. But to be honest, you don't really need to cook it. And also the Prophet ﷺ, this is the only thing they had, by the way. So this was barley bread. There's also some other things that the Prophet ﷺ used to do when eating, which was eating together. When you eat together, your appetite is way more less. Have I ever eaten together? Not really. I haven't really done that. And my personal idea, I mean, to be honest, I always eat, but I eat whenever my mother she gives me, rice, whatever. She's from Bangladesh, so sometimes we have some cultural meals like rice, which we call bat, but that's beside the point. The point is that the Prophet ﷺ always used to eat together, and this will create low appetite, so less appetite, and always eat from where you are. So if like for example, this is the plate, right? I'm right here, so I eat the all the food from this side. Someone's over here, they eat the food from this side. Someone's over here, they eat the food from this side. Same thing on the right, they do that. So that's what like the sunnah, and the Prophet ﷺ used to do that. And he used to always eat little. And the Chinese type of thing, they found out that if you, there was a specific type of thing is get 80% full and leave 20% of it like nothing, just air. So you can actually breathe. But that was the Chinese thing. In Muslim tradition, we eat less than 80%. So we eat like 66.66%, around that much. Because 2/3 of it is full, and then the 1/3 of the body still is not full. Plus, the Prophet ﷺ always used to eat when he was absolutely hungry, and he used to eat a little bit. That's all you have to do. It doesn't really matter what you eat, because whatever you eat doesn't really depend on that. But if you want to do the Prophet ﷺ's diet, he used to eat the dates and all of that. Dates, barley bread, vinegar, honey, olives, olive oil, um, etiquettes, whatever is more. He used to eat a lot of stuff, and you can even search this up yourself on what the Prophet ﷺ used to eat. And not only that, but when you are done eating, in order to get that bad breath away, inshallah, you can buy miswaks. And I never knew this, but miswaks, you can find them in America. Everywhere, actually. And does America support the miswaks? The dentists, they very much support the miswak. Some probably say it's better to use a toothbrush, but you can use the miswak on a daily basis. Others say that you can actually use the miswak instead of a toothbrush if you want to, in order to take care of your teeth, but they have lots of different opinions. In reality, the Prophet ﷺ, he always used to only use miswak. And he only used miswak every time when he woke up from a nap or a sleep or rest. So every time when he woke up for tahajjud, he used miswak. Every time when he woke up for fajr, he used to use miswak. And every time when he woke up before asr, like after his afternoon nap, he used to use miswak. Excuse me. So that's when he used miswak. But you don't have to do that. The sunnah, is it sunnah to brush with miswak 3 times a day? Well, not really. The sunnah is to use miswak every time when you wake up, because then you can get the bad breath away. So does miswak cure bad breath? Not really, but it kind of gets the germs away, like the white stuff in your tongue, it gets that away. How long should you brush with the miswak? Well, for some reason people say do it 15 to 20 minutes for teeth, and then do for tongue like 5 minutes or something like that. You don't really have to do that. You can do however much you want, because the Prophet ﷺ, he used it all the time. Wallahi, this guy, every time he used it like 1 to 2 minutes just for teeth. It wasn't really that long. He just used it until, he cleaned all of the teeth spots in between the teeth, back of the teeth, whatever. He used to do all that. But just use it like a regular, toothbrush. But the thing is that once you use it at least one time, your teeth will already be white. Wallahi, I don't use miswak. Right now, this is my teeth. I've been asking my dad for a miswak, but, we can't really find it. But where can you find miswak? Well, you can mostly find miswak in America in Walmart or Amazon. Can you find it in the shelves of Walmart? Yes, but those are like 6 packs and 12 packs. They have lots of packs for those. Sometimes you can find it on shelves in the oral care for your teeth, like where the toothbrushes are and the toothpaste and whatever. You can sometimes find it, but to be honest, it's pretty rare to find it. So that's why they suggest to order it from Amazon or order it from the Walmart app, which you can also do. And I couldn't really find which shelf it was on, but it just said it was on oral care. So you can find it there. Try to see if you can find it physically, but you're probably not gonna find it because they're really rare in Walmart, like in the physical store. But on the app, you can easily find it, especially even Amazon too. And yeah, but that will be it, inshallah. This was kind of a short video. I've been recording for 16 minutes, and I don't really record for that long, but this video is a little bit longer, but that's fine. And inshallah, now I'm going to be starting class, so I have to go. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.